I actually didn't record like the first 10 minutes of me talking because I forgot to unmute my mic. So we're gonna go ahead and do a take 2 on this. So we're gonna talk about every single ability that he has. I'm gonna give you a brief description of what it does, how to best use it from my perspective, and we're just gonna go from there. So we have the Ancestral Sword, his main primary melee. It's not really good by itself. It's slow. It does 22 damage, I think, per hit. There's no real use for it from what I've seen. With your E ability, if you have the meter full, you could exit out of that and you continue to use your melee, but you don't get any of the lifesteal benefit that it has. So I haven't really found the best way to use it, but I'm sure there's something here that I'm not finding, so somebody will get to it. Hunter's Shotgun. It's your primary. Up close combat is not where it performs well. It actually does well starting at 10 meters. That is where the sweet spot is for any damage. It goes all the way up to about 20 meters where damage will start to fall off, meaning you have about 10 meters of range between your target in order for you to get the maximum damage off of your shotgun. It's really good for playing around corners, playing behind a tank's shield, before you try to engage on any supports or somebody low, and it does insane damage. If you land your headshots really well, you'll be able to get picks off very easily without wasting most of your abilities. So it is definitely one of the stronger part of the kit, and you'll probably be working around this as much as you can. Now we're gonna move on to the Scarlet Shroud. This is your parry, pretty much the same to Iron Fist, except it does not give you full CC immunity. It will only give you CC immunity for the first second or first half second of the ability. So you have, Doctor Strange, old thing, old Namor, Earthbound. You can dodge a Phoenix Stun, Mantis Sleep, a Luna Freeze. It does 80% damage reduction, so you will be able to survive pretty much every ult in the game. So it is really strong. It's on a 3-second cooldown, and it can last about 3 full seconds whenever the meter on the right side is full. So you should be able to keep this up with no problem. And the cool thing about it is when you take damage, it will actually reduce the cooldown of your dash. And I'm not sure like the ratio of damage to cooldown or whatever. Just keep that in mind, or when you're doing some of your flanks and you're trying to, you get in a pick, you go on the back line, you get a kill, you're trying to escape. You just want to do something. You just want to make sure that you're not facing away from the enemy while you back up, because the parry will only work in front of you. It will not do any damage. Will not give you any damage reduction from behind. Bloodline Awakening, which is pretty much your primary source of damage. When you are in your Bloodline mode, you will have this bar underneath your meter, meaning you are going to receive reduced healing, which is the exact same amount that Blade does when he uses his shotgun dash, or the exact same thing when he does his ult. Any kind of heal, rather, will do reduced healing. It doesn't matter if it's from your lifesteal, your supports healing you, it will do it at a slower rate. But you don't have to matter too much because this is on a 1-second cooldown and you'll practically feel nothing during the time. So you can easily turn this on, and during any action you can cut it off. So when you're in E, you'll gain enhanced movement speed and also enhanced attack speed from your melees. How you get that is through your meter at the bottom right there, the one that looks like a batarang. Whenever you do an auto, you'll charge up this meter and it maxes out at 10. The higher the meter is, the faster your attack speed is. And you also see them doing like this Beyblade spin, and that is because every 4th melee will be a spin attack. That happens regardless of whatever the meter is at. Anytime you're in your Bloodline mode, the game will keep track of when your next 4th auto is, no matter how long it is. So if you do 1, 2, 3, go around, walk all the way around, you can go over here, hit this guy, and spin. This only applies to when you are in your Bloodline mode. If you exit, it will reset. Cool trick about the Beyblade is that it does hit from behind. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. But if you are playing in a large group team fight, how I use it is I will position myself in a way, and I'm in Bloodline, boom, 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 and I'm behind somebody, just walk behind them, and they'll take some extra chip damage, which could lead to a really funny kill sometimes when you least expect it. Daywalker Dash. When you dash with your shotgun, you're going to dash forward and shoot, giving the enemy reduced heals. And like I said earlier, they give you a reduction, a 40% reduction of any source of healing. When you dash with your sword, you'll do a Beyblade spin, which will supply a slow ability. When you are in your vampire mode, it will give your charge extremely fast, halfway, and that's really good whenever you enter your vamp mode, because if you have both dashes, you can go ahead, dash right here, and dash right here, and if you actually live, you'd be able to have a full meter pretty much instantly. The range for your dash is actually 15 meters, so if you're even from here, you can go ahead and dash and hit him right there. So most of the time, whenever you're in shotgun range, you're able to kill them in dash range, which is really good. So one of the secret abilities, I'd rather say, because it doesn't really tell you that it does this, is that anytime you are going against a flyer, you will actually be able to knock them down, which is really cool because the game doesn't tell you this. And with your sword, it does the exact same thing, but as long as you're in the air, you can go ahead, you see somebody, oh, you're taking spot shots, oh, just drag him down, and he'll fall down. This isn't the same as Bucky's knockdown. It's not the exact same. His ult's just awesome. It has a maximum range of 25 meters. It will do two things. At the beginning of the ult, you'll charge it up, and you'll have this meter in the middle, and it will go down. The longer you hold it, the longer your ult will be. It does not do any more damage. It does the same amount of damage whether you charge it or you don't. It does initial damage at the slash, and then the AoE triggers, and anybody hit by the slash or the AoE will suffer reduced healing. It synergizes with pretty much everything. With a damage boost, it can kill any tank with follow-up damage. It's just crazy. There's like never a bad way to use it. If you see somebody, you can use it to pick. Like you want to take somebody out, you can do that. It's just really strong. This thing really sucks. I tried to be optimistic about it, but it actually just sucks. LeBlade James. We had LeBlade James to help us out with these combos. Depending on which one of these does a headshot, depends on how much damage you do. But most of the time, you could probably secure a kill with just that. Now, if anything gets a headshot, they will die. For 250 targets, the simple combo is shotgun, shotgun dash, and melee. You'll go ahead and cancel it immediately as soon as you hit them with your shotgun. For anybody 275, the exact same thing. But at the very end, after you melee, you're going to enter your vampire mode and then do another melee. If you miss, you can just add in some more slashes, or if you want, you could exit out of this after you do the primary and shotgun and do a melee, and that should kill most targets. For anything that has 300 HP or more, shotgun, shotgun dash, your melee cancel into your E, melee cancel into a sword dash, and you can exit that with a shotgun and another melee. You could do this with both dashes, but from what I found, the sword dash is what I consider the best one. It's really simple. At any given moment, whenever you are dashing, the moment that you do the spin, all you have to do is do your ult, and you can charge it if you want. That's all up to you, but that's all you have to do. So all you want to do is shift Q, and just like that. Now, with the Beyblade, you'll actually end up doing damage before your slash, and it will do extra damage on top of that. Not a huge amount, but it will do some extra tip damage, which can lead to a kill on somebody that's already low in ult. Turns out that Blade can actually heal himself with his shotgun. Whenever you enter Bloodline Awakening, you are only limited to your sword. However, if you are currently using your shotgun, whenever you shoot, you can immediately press your E, and whatever damage the shotgun does will come back as a lifesteal, and it will heal you. I'm not sure the practical uses for this. You could probably do something when you're behind a wall and you're poking and you're just kind of waiting for your supports to come back. I'm sure you wouldn't want to do this close range. You know, that's just a nice little tidbit to add. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and talk about playstyles, and I don't really have like the correct qualifications to really talk about how people just play a character, but I will go ahead and talk about how I tend to play Blade and how I try to get the maximum, you know, use out of it. So I tend to play Blade as a frontliner with the tanks. But he can flank, and I'll get to that later. But what I do mainly is sit in the front lines when there's a tank. That way I'm pretty much tanking shots with them, or hanging out behind their shields, or going ahead and getting picks behind, you know, them, behind anybody. That can be, you know, a brawl comp with Thing, Hulk, Thor, or poking behind with Magneto and Strange. That way I can go ahead and get a pick and engage, or get a chance for my tanks to push up. Whenever I get somebody low or know somebody can die if we push in, I'll charge in with the tank and we'll go ahead and focus a target. That way we can push up and the enemy team will turn around and the rest of the team can look forward and do some damage. Whenever a tank tries to push us, I go ahead, put up the shoddy, take out the sword, and my meter maxed out, and kind of scare the enemy tank away from taking too much damage, because that damage he does when his vent meter is at max is insane. It does a lot over time, and most tanks will probably not want to sit right on top of that unless there's, say, like a Venom, maybe a Thing getting pocketed really hard, or a Hulk or something. But for most tanks, Cap, Strange, Mag, Emma as well, sometimes they may not want to sit there for long, so it's kind of like a deterrent. Whenever you're flanking, Bleed has, you know, his one-shot combo as long as you hit your headshots, but since you're flanking, you should have an easier time getting them. Because this will probably happen whenever the supports aren't patty shaking, or they're distracted by something up front in the main team fight, which will be the best time to get your pick, because you can kill them before they even really have time to react in most cases. And even if you do engage and you happen to not kill them for whatever reason, maybe you whiffed or something, you still have your parries, and with your parry, like I said, you can build your meter and regain another dash. You can, you know, burn 2 dashes trying to get the kill, and if you somehow don't, you can parry, get your next dash, and dash away back to the main group, which is really good because Blade does a lot of good burst damage, which will probably scare the supports into using one of their abilities, especially if they have reduced healing and the patty cake is not working as much. Going back to what I said about playing with tanks, is whenever my tanks are engaging on each other, I try to use my sword, and that's because most of the time when they try to run, I can give them a slow or give them reduced healing if I didn't already give it to them that at the beginning of the fight. I'll give them the slow, that way they can't get out as quickly, so their supports will also most likely burn a healing ability, a cloak bubble, a Luna ult, a Loki green, or something like that, try to save them, which is really good for cooldowns. Overall, I think Blade is a great addition to the game. I do like what he's doing with the reduced heals. It's not a total anti-heal, so people won't complain. I love his combo game. I think it is really fun to mash on my keyboard and get a clean combo. His overall design is just amazing. I love the look, and I can't wait to see what other skins he gets. So go ahead, get out there, go try Blade. Hopefully you like him, hopefully you'll want to pick him up, hopefully this guide helps. I literally never done a guide before on anything. I've written like so many guides over the years, about a character I was really passionate about, and I just like never went through with them because I wasn't like confident at the time. But I'm hoping that this guide helps somebody, you know. So go out there, try your blade, you know, sharpen your blade or something, you know, something corny like that. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to sub, you know, stuff like that's appreciated. Share it, even if it's not the best. And I'll see you guys in another video, hopefully. Bye bye.